already read them
That's good enough.
Oh.
Is it usually 3?
Yeah.
So there's number 2. That was a weak ass clap.
I like what it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, it does. It's nice.
That's
I
nice.
love Audacity. It's free.
Yeah, it's
Oh God, Jimmy.
Hashtag shut up, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So who wants to start us off?
Wow, anyway.
First question
Anyway.
from James Murphy. I'm gonna read this verbatim. Why y'all always saying hashtag shut up Jimmy?
I think you should cover that. I mean, you're a major proponent.
You
Yeah.
started it.
I did.
You
Did I
kinda
start
did
it?
start
You totally started
I
it.
When did I start it?
I don't know.
You write all the descriptions.
Yeah, you did. You totally started.
Well, there was
that.
something that happened, wasn't there?
Jimmy was being annoying?
Well, I
I'm
mean
never
that's like
annoying.
every day.
Nope.
No.
Totally
It was
lying.
when we were recording the with you, me, and Ariana, the Carry On Our Wayward Son, and Jimmy was playing
Was that far ago?
and throwing reeds against the wall, and we were trying to record, and Jimmy would not shut up.
Hashtag.
That might be the
Hashtag.
first one.
Good
that might have been
That-
it.
those
But
were
then
good
it just
times.
kind of it's so ingrained in everything that he does. It's like everything he says is just like my immediate reaction is just shut up,
Shut
Jimmy.
up, Jimmy.
I mean, yeah.
They're all
I mean, that's how I
nice.
kind of.
You're really appreciated.
Truly accepted into this group. I really feel like a part of this whole organization now.
I'm really glad.
I'm really glad for everyone who got me
you.
here. My parents.
I'd like to
Of course,
thank
my
the
teacher.
academy. Yeah,
You can.
of course.
Okay.
So yeah, there's shut up, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's shut up, Jimmy. He actually had a real question. What is the
Wait,
reason?
that wasn't a real question?
That was the realest of
That was
questions.
a real list of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real question. What is the reason that clarinets use vibrato in jazz, but never in classical orchestra music?
Wait, you use what clarinets in jazz?
Vibrato.
Vibrato.
Oh, vibrato. Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of it's just like the tradition of not. Because I mean, that wasn't a
It's
thing.
almost actually an American thing. Because
Vibra- well, yeah.
you find
Well,
vibrato
because
in
they-
British styles of playing. You
Yeah.
find them using
Really?
vibrato in or classical
Yeah.
settings. It's kind of just
It's kind of like a
us.
taste. It's like
Yeah.
whether or not you like. Because a lot of people, almost everyone I've met here is just like strictly like don't do that.
Yeah.
Because they don't think it sounds good.
I mean, like, this is kind of just like a clarinetist thing, but we complain that vibrato is used to hide pitch, which we can sustain good pitch,
Yeah.
and so we don't need it. Oh,
Yeah.
flutes and oboes. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Whatever.
We're already talking about them.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Well, I mean, I think another thing is at least
irrelevant.
at least to some people, a lot of like the merit of the clarinet sound is because it is pure.
Yeah.
And it's more
Yeah.
like focused instead of like.
Whoa.
It does. It's like whoa.
Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
It does help.
That.
It does help kind of get the purity across, but I mean, like vibrato can be used.
Oh,
in
totally.
Plenty of situations, like if you have music that's like a little more ethnic, like Zoltan Kodály, like Dances of Galanta, you can definitely
Yeah,
use
that's-
vibrato in that if you wanted to. Because like I asked Sean back home, and I was like, "Can I use vibrato in this?" He was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Why not?
And I mean, like there's also expressive vibratos. So if you're playing like a rose etude, you can on a couple like
if you wanted.
a couple like
I mean, it's probably-
expressive notes,
yeah.
put like a little vibrato.
I mean, it's probably good just
like
to
within
know how to
reason.
do it.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can just put it, but
it mostly
a lot
just
of
has to sound good.
yeah, especially I think just in like classical period music, you probably wouldn't want to,
Yeah, no
unless
way,
like you knew for a fact somehow that like the conductor would appreciate it. You probably wouldn't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
It's very specific when you'd want to. So usually you just don't, and
Mhm.
everyone's fine with that.
And I mean, even from the classical period, like violinists weren't even using that much vibrato. So like
Yeah.
that's more of a recent development.
Yeah, basically. Good point.
All right, Grace.
Next question is from Quentin Knox. My name is Quentin. I'm a freshman from the University of Texas at Arlington, and I'm struggling with a crisp articulation. Do you have any tips or exercises to make this easier and more natural?
More natural.
And we kind of talked about articulation in the last podcast. So
I mean, like, I have a specific exercise that I use. Like, I basically start on a low E, which is a really hard note to get really crisp. And then I go E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and then I just do that 5-note pattern up and down with a stopped tongue, and I try to articulate so that the sound is forte as soon as like you hear it, so it doesn't go what. It's just dut 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 dut, and I try to make that as clear and crisp as possible. So yeah, and I usually put a little dun 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 because it gets boring.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is about ensembles in general.
Kind of
Oh,
sort of.
I don't
have a more too.
And here we go, everybody.
Here we go.
The Jimmy Show.
The Jimmy Show.
Starring?
What?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
What?
Starring.
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
Abandoned as a pup. He was found by Muriel. Anyway, let's keep going.
A little tangent.
Throwback to 2002. My
Throwback
God.
Thursday.
That shit was so good, though.
Throwback Friday. I don't even care.
Flashback Friday. There you go.
Okay.
See back Saturday.
See back.
I don't know.
See back.
Yeah, that's a
Are we about to come up with ones for every single day?
Yeah.
So we
See
never
back.
have
Why
this
not?
other video again.
Seabass
Throwback
Sunday.
Tuesday.
way back Wednesday.
Wow, so far back Wednesday.
Whoa, that was a long time
Medieval
ago.
Monday.
Yeah.
And repost Tuesday.
Many days ago, Monday.
Many moons have passed since the last time we showed this video Monday.
I guess.
Concise title, very short hashtag.
Yeah. Also, for articulating, just make sure you're always using tip of the tongue to the tip of the reed. So,
Yeah.
Transition.
that's
Also,
There's no
actually,
segues in
kind
this
of
podcast.
off topic. The hashtag you used it in today's video, this was recorded 4 months ago.
It really was, because we dated it in the Google Drive.
Really?
It was December 19th was when
Oh
we
my
recorded
God.
it.
Oh my god.
And we posted it April 17th.
Excellent.
Big check.
We are good at what we do.
Oh, yeah. We're
We're
back.
We're really good
We
at
are-
planning. We're
we are
really good
the
at planning. That's what we
most
did.
organized group of
We
people.
have 4
ever.
months worth of backlog videos that
Yeah.
we just pull out.
Yeah.
Right?
We
Yeah.
just have
exactly.
so much footage.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The footage is infinite, actually. Okay, so is there
Anyway.
yeah, articulation. I mean,
Or do we have anything more to say about it? Or
it's just something you have to practice. You got to
Yeah.
get a feel for like what it feels like to do that, which is
Yeah.
so vague, but it's like
you basically
it's
just
really
have to-
hard to
Yeah.
because it's all just about feeling it. It's,
I mean, what we should just doing is just like go listen to people. If you like what they're doing, try to mimic them. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what we do here most of the time.
Yeah. Basically,
Even just listening to each other play, like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm gonna try to sound like that.
yeah. Basically, just like take it slow. Listen to if it's crisp or not, and if it's not crisp, play it crisp slowly, and then work it up to tempo.
If it's not crisp, play it crisp.
it's as easy as
Excellent
that, folks.
advice.
It is. I
What do
mean,
you
like,
say?
you just kind of have to figure it out. So.
When you said play it like
Wait.
crisp or not, I thought that was a name. I thought there was a name, crisp or not, and I'm like,
Crisp or not, everybody.
is that?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I wanted to make sure my computer didn't fall asleep. Might have been bad. I don't know.
Don't worry.
What?
Probably was
Yeah,
fine.
here guys. Technical difficulty.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah.
Next question. I can't read their name. It's number 3.
Number 3.
Oh.
I'm not gonna try to read it. So it's
Hopefully you remember your question because we're about to read it.
It's
Jimmy's
just
about to read it.
ASDIS space BIRTA space GUONADOTTIR, and there are a lot of
We're so sorry.
Accent
I'm
symbols.
so sorry personally.
I'm not gonna,
Personally.
I'm personally
I don't
sorry.
trust
about this.
myself to not butcher it, so I just don't want to embarrass myself.
You do that, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't do it ever.
No, you've never embarrassed
How do you
yourself.
know which ensembles to audition for and which ones are the right ones for you? Like which ones you are good enough to audition for? And also, what is her freaking name? We don't know what her name is. She hasn't told us yet. And so ensembles, basically, just like ask your teacher like what ensembles, or if you know people who have been to them, like just ask them. It's kind of just like knowing if someone who has experience with that ensemble or like summer festival or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And kind of just a main rule of thumb: if you want to do it, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know if you're
Right.
gonna get it or not.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many things I've auditioned for like through high school where I was like, oh, I don't have a chance for this, like at all. Like I just like, oh, I don't think I'll get in, but I'll do it for the experience of getting in, and then I got in. And it was like, oh, okay. And so then I was inspired to go actually do like harder auditions.
Real music.
Okay. But yeah, I think, because I mean, worst case scenario, you audition and don't get in, but then you did the audition, and like really every audition you do, you get better at doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I mean, like when I first did auditions just for like honor bands, all state bands, stuff like that, like I was so nervous about it, like hilariously nervous, like it was so sad, and then you just do them. And so like I would do those every year, and I did a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so then by like senior year doing all state, it was like, it was a breeze. Like I walked in and I did it, and I was like, boom. You just don't get nervous about it anymore. So I think even if you like audition for something and it is like out of your league or something, the fact you're doing it is gonna help you improve.
Yeah, college auditions for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Kind of made me like kind of jaded to the audition process. Like I just kind of go in and do it now.
Just kind of do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just playing for people. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to get used to as a performer anyway. So,
So you might as well do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are all the questions about ensembles. If we want to just talk about the other questions that we got.
sure.
We can-
Sure.
We can do
As
whatever.
well.
Okay, this one I'm not actually completely clear. We can talk about what we do know about it. I know you're not a buffet person, but we are. And
I've played buffets.
but you've had a buffet, yeah.
I know how buffets play. There's a reason I switched.
Hashtag shut up, Jeremy.
My name is Mike from Bradenton, Florida. I'm in 9th grade and an all-state musician. I'm playing on a buffet
You can do it.
E12F with a
Mhm.
5RV lyre mouthpiece. I'm
Yeah.
using V12 reeds.
Mhm.
I was wondering if you could tell the difference between R13's Festival, Divine, and the Tosca.
Okay, don't get the divine. Tosca's
Yeah, the divine is like literally the
Your sales
worst
yeah,
sample
thing.
here.
the
is
divine.
like
The divine's good. The R13 is also good.
You
You
just
said-
said the divine is good.
Or sorry, the Tosca's
Tosca's
good.
fine.
Tosca.
Yeah, I meant the Tosca. The Tosca will give you a really deep, rich sound because the bore's a little smaller. It's a little more resistant than the R13. And the festival is also an R13. It's just an R13
Yeah.
festival.
Same with
Yeah.
like the Prestige.
Same with the Prestige, yeah.
So the Tosca will give you like a nice, rich, smooth sound, whereas the R13 is a little brighter and probably has a little more energy. And the festival is sort of like a warm version of that, which has also a left-hand E flat lever.
Oh, that lever.
Yeah.
Oh, what a lifesaver.
The
Except
Tosca also
not
has
really.
the E flat lever.
Yeah, like do you even use it that often?
Well, okay, so
I
the
do.
thing with the E flat lever is like you're like, oh, I don't need this, but when you need it, you need.
See, I've been
it.
finding
Like,
that I wish I had one because I use the E flat key a lot for my covered fingerings.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
so in
true.
those cases, it really does help, especially if you're like doing like coming from like B's or C's or C sharps, and you need to get to that
Oh, you can
E
just-
flat key. You just you use that instead.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's really nice,
Oh.
actually.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
It just takes a little while to get used to, but
Oh,
it's
definitely.
really useful.
Yeah, you have to just. I would just start
especially with
working
smaller
it in.
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just start working into like scales or stuff, or like use it when it's totally not necessary, just to get used to.
Yeah,
that other
you
Yeah,
practice-
unlike the bass clarinet, I use it all the time.
Oh yeah, I use
Because
it in
it's
the
so
percussion
much
all the
nicer.
time.
Just the action of it is a lot
Mhm.
nicer than this one because of the way the keywork works.
Yeah.
Mhm,
But
you have
yeah.
more leverage.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's not. It's by no means necessary. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like you
I mean,
can't.
yeah, players have gotten by without it
Oh,
for
totally.
years.
But it's like it makes things really nice when stuff's written really bad.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff, and I can't list examples right now, but I've run into stuff where it's just like, what? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
You're just like, and it's like, if I only had this thing right here, this would all be fixed.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't really think it was a big deal when I was like shopping for my new clarinets, and then like I'd run into that problem and be like, wait, I have the key, and then it's, it's great. Oh my god.
Yeah, both my clarinets have it.
Yeah.
Another really important thing is if no matter what you're buying, Tosca, Festival, or R13, you have to try a lot of them because even the Toscas, which are really expensive, they're still very different from clarinet to clarinet. So you have to try a lot of them to get a good one.
And this also kind of goes for like, just because a clarinet's more expensive does not mean it's better per se.
Yeah.
A lot of people play differently, and like, I mean, I was just talking to my teacher about this, but when I'm planning on going down to Florida, and I kind of want to just try all the different types of clarinets because I'm looking to get a new one in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And so that would be nice to just like play through every single one to see what I like, and then so when it comes time to get a new one, I know kind of what I'm looking for. But yeah.
There's also the if Toscas are within your price range, there's also the RC and R13 Prestiges.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So those are the main models that professionals use: R13, Festival, Prestige, either of the two, or Toscas for buffets.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole can of worms of like all the Yamaha stuff and all the Selmer stuff and all the LeBlanc stuff.
Not many people
All
use
the Baku
LeBlanc
stuff.
Rossi.
Rossi.
Yeah, they're
I know of
single piece.
I know.
Oh yeah.
The former principal of Seattle used to use used a Rossi. Yeah, there are actually quite a few Selmer artists, and I think so. Definitely the professional musicians today are using mostly buffets, and then Selmers, and Yamahas probably, and then LeBlancs after that.
Yeah.
I only know of I forget the former principal of Chicago played on LeBlanc.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty sure. Larry Combs.
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays. I'm pretty sure he's a LeBlanc artist.
Fun fact.
Fun
That's
fact.
what Jimmy.
Yeah, in Chicago, in the Chicago Symphony actually right now, there's all three brands of clarinet. Pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
because like Laurie Bloom plays buffets, Stephen Williamson plays Selmers, and John Brussier plays Yamahas. So I mean, like it really depends on what you want. And I mean, like I have a Yamaha and a Selmer, and they both sound great, and I've been able to play buffets. I just prefer the other two.
Yeah.
So.
Next question is from Anthony Bro.
Good.
That's not a real name.
If this is your real name, we apologize. Well, Jimmy apologizes.
Anthony.
What are some of the biggest challenges you faced getting to the point where you are now? What kind of adversities you had to overcome, and how did you overcome it? Any audition tips for auditioning for college or conservatories?
Scales. And I still haven't overcome scales. I still suck at scales.
Scales.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's funny is that like when you're doing the audition process and stuff, like they ask for scales and all this sometimes. And so like I was practicing the crap out of my scales, like senior year, junior year, high school in general. And then it's like you still need to practice scales when you're here, but like you're never directly asked to play scales anymore. It's just funny.
But it still helps.
Oh, it helps. It helps a whole lot. It's just
At
really
this
funny.
point, you're just kind of expected just to do it because you know it's right.
Yeah.
It's like eating your vegetables.
Yeah, basically.
Scales
it's
are like
it's really
vegetables.
funny because I was used to
Chris, everybody.
because like in high school in my band we would have like our tests and we'd have to play scales, and so I was just like a thing I had to play scales for grades, and it's like you're not gonna play scales in college. Come on, like you'll do that in a practice room. It's funny.
Yeah.
So,
Close A, page 123.
amen.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Google it and you will find it.
Scales, arpeggios,
Didn't we
and thirds
Google
are
it
your
and
most
not find it
important.
though?
I think
No.
a picture of you came up.
Yeah, I still don't understand why that happened. But don't Google image unless you want to see a picture of me, which I'm sure nobody does. But if you just Google it, a PDF file will show up. I'm going to do it right now.
I'm gonna Google it too and find the picture of you.
Honestly,
He's looking for the page. You're looking
Like
for him.
Close A.
Is it 1, 2, 3? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
1, 2, 3.
You just look up Close A 1, 2, 3.
And really, that entire section of the close is like
Oop.
that, and then the thirds.
not
Oh,
one,
and
and this
arpeggios.
is
soccer
And you guys
players.
are
a
just
soccer
walking out.
player.
I'm just gonna keep
Oh yeah,
talking
closes.
because I bet you guys aren't
the
talking.
first
or listening
thing-
to me.
Close enough.
If you Google
sorry.
Close A, page 123, the first thing that shows up is a PDF.
Or alternatively, a soccer player. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Clarinet's like soccer.
Both are easy. That's the gist of this story.
Kind of.
Okay, what were you saying while we were...
I was just kind of talking.
Oh, okay, good.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't matter.
All right.
So, adversities, hardships,
Yeah.
where we are.
Mostly it's just scales for me, actually.
The adversities I
That's
face are scales.
Like really, I'm just recently learning them actually well, and it requires a lot of like mental effort to internalize, and not just have them be notes you play, but actually like the
Yeah, I will
method
say
of
that.
playing scales is actually how you should play everything. That you have to have complete control over the dynamics, the tone color, the rhythmic qualities. So like that includes playing on every strong beat, but also within each beat you have to play evenly. Yeah, there's just so many things that go into it, and then if you can do that, you can basically do anything.
You can do
But I
anything.
mean, like, today I got my scales up to like 60 beats per minute to the 16th note, and I was like, okay, now they're good at that tempo. But like, I can play them faster. I can play the notes, but it just doesn't. I didn't like know them at that tempo.
Yeah.
I can just play the notes.
Literally all I did in my lesson today is I played scales. It
Mhm.
was a good time.
Yeah.
We talked for a little bit. We listened to some music, played some scales, talked about instruments, and I left.
Great. But yeah, like what I would find in high school, because I didn't know my scales super well until like the end of my high school career, like last year and a half or something. And it's like usually when you get a new piece of music, you're like, oh, that's a lot of notes. Like, oh, there's accidentals here. But then once you know your scales, you can just be like, oh, this is all just like B flat major, or like this is all just E flat, and so you just do it, and it just becomes infinite. Because then you're not looking at it note to note, you're looking at it like much bigger picture, and it
Yeah.
just becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, you should also be able to, when you see your music, you should be able to look at certain parts and be like, oh, that's an A flat major arpeggio, or that's a
Yeah.
C sharp major scale, or an F major scale, and it makes things very helpful because you've already practiced those, and you just start playing. And
Also
you
your
can
diminished
sight read
chords.
much better.
Diminished chords suck, man.
I love them.
I mean, they're cool, they're neat. But,
Neato.
They actually kind of fall under your fingers very easily.
Yeah, diminished chords
Sometimes,
are
yeah.
actually pretty good for fingers.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's only 3 of them. So
Yeah.
you just kind of start at low E, go all the way up, go down, go to F, go all the way up, you come down, do F sharp, go all the way up and come down. I mean,
There you go, I guess.
yeah.
Sweet.
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 Sweet. From Nate Malco, what advice do you have for future music majors, and what do you wish before you? What did you wish you knew before you went to college? We kind of just talked about this.
Scales.
Scales.
I'll copy and paste the whole audio and we'll just listen to it again.
Yeah, that's
Scales.
great. Yeah.
Scales, and I think for me it was a lot of like self-confidence issues and like self-acceptance. Acceptance. I accepted my body and my soul. Well, okay, so like for me it was that I came to school and I was like constantly worrying about like what I sounded like in relationship to everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, that's a good way to look at it when you're like analyzing your playing.
It kind of just happens.
It just happened. Like that's
yeah.
just a part of like all of our day. That just happens all the time. But like I was letting that kind of like cripple me in a sense.
Mhm.
So I just felt really bad about myself all the time. And so like as the years gone on, it's like I hear all this stuff happening, and instead of being like, oh wow, I'm so bad compared to this, it's like, oh, like this person's like a year old, like 3 years older than me. It's like why it's not even like a comparison. It's just like different worlds.
Also, you just like start to understand how everyone plays differently.
Yeah.
Like
That's why, like, before I came to college, like, I couldn't, like, I could tell the difference between, like, a bad clarinet player and a good one, but I couldn't tell the difference between, like, good clarinet players.
Yeah.
And then
You start
once
to like,
I
see what different people do.
yeah, and it's
basically just preference.
yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big part of it for me going into school. So it's like, and I mean, even over the summer, I told myself, like, you're not going to be the best person here. Like, get over that now because I knew I wouldn't that wouldn't help me that much, but I still got here and it was still this happened. But I think like knowing that you're gonna face this like part of being in a music school and just kind of like realizing that you're gonna feel this, but then just get used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, each school is different.
Oh, definitely.
Here, we're kind of like really
friendly.
supportive and friendly.
Yeah.
But that might not happen everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. We go here.
Yep.
We go here.
Sweet.
We go here.
We do
Fun
go
fact,
here.
we are actually at the school we attend.
We are actually here.
We are here.
Or are we?
We are beyond. All right, next question.
I'm out of questions.
Never mind. So
I think we definitely need to put this to an end.
We did put
Can we
this
just
show
turn
out
off
of
the
its
recording?
bye, everybody. That was a fun
Bye.
time.